Children, do you know where the desert meets the sky? It's in the Sahara, the grandest desert in the world. The sands stretch far and wide, golden and endless, but hidden beneath them are treasures, water, minerals, and secrets of the earth. Let me tell you a story about a city, a community, and a dream to create something extraordinary in this vast, sunlit sea. But it's also a story about how we can build a better future for our planet. In the heart of the Sahara stood Tamana, a city that shimmered like a mirage. It wasn't just any city. It was a marvel of futuristic design. Hovering solar domes collected sunlight to power homes. Vertical farms grew fresh fruits and vegetables in the middle of the desert. But the most astonishing feature of Tamana was the Skyway, a high-speed cable car system that floated gracefully above the sand, connecting communities far and wide. It wasn't just transportation. It was a lifeline for people who lived in the desert's remote corners. At the center of this bustling city was Salif, a 13-year-old boy with a wild imagination and a knack for fixing things. His workshop was cluttered with gadgets made from salvaged scraps. A solar-powered fan, a water purifier made from old pipes, and his pride and joy, a hoverboard he'd built himself. One day, Salif would say, tinkering with his tools, "I'll build something so amazing that people will remember my name forever. As long as you don't blow up the house," his grandmother Yaya teased. She was the city's historian, always reminding Salif about the importance of the land and its people. "The Sahara has seen many civilizations rise and fall, Salif," she'd say. "It's up to us to respect it, or we'll be the next to disappear." One day, the leaders of Tamana gathered in the city's great hall, a solar-powered dome that sparkled in the sunlight. Scientists, inventors, farmers, and even children like Salif were invited. The topic, climate change and how Tamana could continue to thrive without harming the Sahara. "The world is heating up," said Dr. Amina, a climatologist. "Our rivers are drying, our crops are struggling, and the sands are shifting faster than ever." She paused, looking around the room. "But we have the power to change that. What can Tamana do to lead the way?" Salif raised his hand. "We should build something big," he exclaimed, "like a giant fan to cool the desert." Laughter filled the hall, but Yaya smiled. "Even wild ideas have their place," she said. "But let's think about how to work with the desert, not against it." "The answer is in the sun," said Abu, an engineer. "We live in the most sunlit place on Earth. What if we expanded our solar farms and shared the energy with other cities?" "And what about water?" asked Mariam, a farmer. "The aquifers beneath the Sahara could help grow more crops, but we must protect them from overuse." "We could use the Skyway to transport fresh food to places that need it," Salif added, his voice rising with excitement. "And maybe, just maybe, we could make it run on solar power too." The room buzzed with ideas. The leaders of Tamana decided to turn the meeting into a project, inviting everyone to contribute their skills and creativity to build a greener, more connected Sahara. That evening, Salif sat with Yaya under the clear desert sky. "Yaya," he asked, "why does everyone talk about climate change like it's such a big problem?" Yaya picked up a handful of sand and let it slip through her fingers. "Imagine this desert, Salif, covered in a blanket. During the day, the sun heats the sand, and at night, it cools down. But what happens if the blanket gets thicker and thicker?" "It stays hot all the time," Salif said, his brow furrowing. "Exactly," Yaya replied. "That's what's happening to the earth. The gases we release into the air, like smoke from factories and cars, are making the earth's blanket too thick. And when it gets too hot, The rains stop coming, the rivers dry up, and even the strongest trees can't survive. Salif looked thoughtful. But we're doing something about it, right? Yaya smiled. Yes, Salif, and Tamana is leading the way. But it's not just about technology. It's about changing how we think, how we live, and how we treat the earth. That's the real challenge. The next day, Salif joined a team of engineers and builders working on the Skyway. It was a monumental task, but everyone pitched in. Farmers, teachers, children, and even elders like Yaya. The Skyway wasn't just a transportation system. It was a symbol of Tamana's commitment to sustainability. Salif worked on his own invention, a solar-powered hoverpod that could carry seeds and water to remote farms. He called it the Green Pod. It's like a little robot farmer, he explained to Mariam. It plants seeds, waters them, and even checks the soil. That's incredible, Salif, Mariam said. With these pods, we could grow food even in the driest parts of the desert. The Skyway and the Green Pods became a community effort, with everyone adding their ideas and energy. Children painted murals on the Skyway stations, showing scenes of life in the desert, camels, palm trees, and smiling faces. Elders shared stories of how their ancestors had survived in harmony with the Sahara. It was a celebration of both progress and tradition. One afternoon, while exploring the outskirts of Tamana, Salif stumbled upon a mining site. Giant machines were digging into the earth, pulling out rare minerals used for making batteries and electronics. The site was run by a foreign corporation, and the workers looked tired and unhappy. Salif's heart sank. Yaya was right, he thought. People are taking from the Sahara without giving anything back. That evening, he brought the issue to the Great Hall. We can't let them destroy our land, he said, his voice trembling. The Sahara isn't just sand, it's our home. The leaders agreed. They decided to confront the corporation, not with anger, but with a proposal. We'll show them that there's a better way, Dr. Amina said, one that respects both the land and its people. Together, they invited the corporation's leaders to Tamana. They gave them a tour of the city, showing how technology and nature could work together. They explained the importance of preserving the Sahara's resources for future generations. And, surprisingly, the corporation agreed to change its practices, investing in Tamana's sustainable projects instead. When the Skyway was finally completed, the entire city gathered for its grand opening. Salif stood proudly beside his green pod, which had become an essential tool for farmers across the desert. As the first solar-powered cable car glided into the station, carrying fresh vegetables from a distant farm, the crowd erupted in cheers. This is what progress looks like, Yaya said, her eyes shining. Not just machines, but people coming together to build a future that works for everyone. Salif grinned. Do you think they'll remember my name now? He asked. Yaya laughed. Oh, they'll remember, Salif. But not just because of what you built. They'll remember because you cared. And so, children, the sky builders of the Sahara taught the world an important lesson. True progress isn't about taking, it's about giving back. It's about working together, respecting the earth, and dreaming big. And Salif, he became a legend not just in Tamana, but across the world, a reminder that even the smallest hands can build the biggest dreams.